For thousands of years, the Sami, or Lapps of northern Europe, have herded reindeers across the top of the continent. But now they fear their traditional way of life is under threat.
While only a few of the estimated 70,000 Sami still live as nomads, their methods have led to conflict with landowners. Oliver Steeds reports from northern Sweden, where Sami herders say they're being squeezed out of grazing lands.
It's the biggest event in the Sami calendar. Thousands of reindeer arriving from their summer grazing grounds high up in the mountains. Herded into these huge corrals and divided into smaller groups and sent off to forests to forage for food during the harsh Arctic winter. The Sami, like their reindeer, are traditionally nomadic. But for centuries, as soon as nomads meet settlers, problems begin. Many of their traditional winter grazing grounds are now privately owned. SVEN-ERIC owns forests around Härjedalen and is one of a number of landowners suing the Sami in Swedish courts for the damage caused by their reindeer.
There are two situations where there is a high risk of damage. First, when they rub their antlers against the bark and the tree can be damaged or killed. And secondly, when they have to dig through the snow so they can reach what's on the ground.
The courts demanded the Sami submit written evidence to prove they had historically used this land. An impossible demand for a culture that has until very recently had only an oral tradition. It's no surprise the Sami lost. And these current legal conflicts are a legacy of hundreds of years where the Sami have been increasingly marginalized on their ancestral lands. Dam projects, forestry, wind farms, even ski runs have progressively eked away at their ability to herd their reindeer. For KROIK and others, land means life. And these court cases are the final straw.
The Sami culture has been marginalized all the time, and now we are on the verge of vanishing completely, because the last thing that the Sami are allowed to do is reindeer herding, and that is about to be destroyed as well.
The problems faced by the Sami are similar to those problems faced by indigenous peoples around the world. And if there's one place where they stand a chance of being able to protect their rights, then it should be here, in Sweden, a country renowned for its strong sense of social justice. Many Sami are now hanging their hopes on something called the ILO Convention 169, the only UN convention that specifically guarantees the rights of indigenous people. But to date, only 2 countries have signed up, Bolivia and Norway. Sweden has, however, signed up to almost all relevant conventions on human rights adopted by the UN. So I asked the government minister if it will be ratified.
The last decision in the parliament is that there is a movement to try to ratify the ILO 169, but at the moment we are not there. There is a lot of issues to be solved before we can do that.
Is there a time frame?
Not at the moment.
Whilst these reindeer head in search of new winter grazing lands, the Sami turn towards the European court as their last hope, wondering how many more winters they'll be tending their reindeer on their ancestral lands. Oliver Steeds, Al Jazeera, Sweden.